Sean Hannity, speaking of nukes, he has some interesting stuff to say about the subject. Let's have a listen, shall we?
This hour, Israel has successfully now targeted two of the three most major Iranian nuclear facilities. The third location, the Fordow enrichment plant that Jennifer Griffin was talking about, is buried deep under a mountain. This is south of Tehran. This is believed to be the most significant and secretive nuclear facility inside of Iran. In order to prevent the mullahs from getting a nuclear weapon, this facility must be destroyed. Tonight, the way I see it, there are three options. One, Israel could use a tactical nuclear weapon.
His first option, nuclear weapon, tactical nuclear weapon, shooting a nuclear weapon at a nuclear site. Yeah, man, that sounds brilliant. Sounds brilliant.
To wipe out the site, they don't have bunker buster bombs. That would obviously be not only highly controversial, but come with massive risks to the region. It is not a good option. Option number two.
Why did you list it first?
A team of commandos on the ground. Also very risky.
Team of commandos. What do you got? Jason Bourne and James Bond and Jack Bauer out there ready to, bring together the troops, and they're going to go. Jesus Christ, man. I just hear the Jason Bourne theme song in the back of my head. Or James Bond. Dun 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 dun.
With a much lower chance of success. The third best option involves the United States of America, our military, which is equipped with these 30,000-pound bunker buster bombs capable of penetrating that mountain. Israel does not have this critical weapon in its arsenal, and they do not possess the large bombers that are capable of dropping an ordnance of that size. So
it's Iraq all over again. It's 2002, 2003, Iraq all over again. The propaganda is thick, man. They are just shoving it in your face. We need to do this. We need to drop some bombs. I tell you what, why don't you let Israel do it? Let their special forces do it. Oh, they don't have bunker buster bombs? Well, how about negotiating? You can't bomb your way out of this? Maybe try diplomacy. I got an idea. Diplomacy. Have you ever thought of it, Netanyahu? No, because they have bomb and we're going to drop bomb. Fuck off, man. Fuck off. And later on in this show, he brings on this complete moron, Mark Levine. And by the way, I mean, this is just a side note here, but why are we always listening to these squeaky little geeky nerdy dudes? I mean, look at the size of the fucking elephant that he's got on his lapel. Is he virtue signaling? I mean, he's got flags fucking everywhere. He's got a flag on his lapel pin. And listen to the guy talk, man. Listen to this crazy talk.
This is a country that tried to assassinate our president. In the good old days.
Oh, by the way, I got to stop. I'm sorry. I got to stop. He is referring to the guy in Butler, Pennsylvania, the 22-year-old Republican voter who tried to assassinate, and he killed several of the people at the rally. He's saying that this 22-year-old is in league with Iran, as well as the other crazy guy who who attempted to shoot at the president. He didn't even get close before the Secret Service was all over him. Those two guys are working with Iran. He is literally trying to put those two things together, forcing a square peg into a round hole. And they figure, because 2003 Iraq propaganda works so well, that they're just going to keep repeating it over and over and over and over again until every Republican is like, yeah, they tried to assassinate him. They've convinced Donald Trump that Iran has tried to assassinate him. All 90 million people in Iran are trying to assassinate him. God damn, man.
The face of the earth. They tried twice, and we haven't done anything. We have fought these bastards for 47 years, half a century. They go on with...
I'd say it's a little bit longer than that, man. 1953, taking out their elected leader. That their democratically elected leader. He's talking about when they overthrew the Shah. That's called blowback, dog. When you fuck with a country for decades, You think that they're just going to sit there and take it, man? If China invaded Texas and put a dictator in charge of Texas and held it for 25 years, are you telling me there ain't no one Texan that's going to lose his shit, grab his gun, and go fucking ballistic on the dictator that we stuck in there or that China stuck in there? Are you telling me that? Is that what you're telling me?
Bumper stickers, forever wars, forever wars. Well, guess what? The Israelis are going to put an end to this forever war, and so will Donald Trump. Then I hear the questions, well, how much does the United States want to get involved? Well, I don't know. They want to have intercontinental ballistic missiles to hit the United States with nuclear warheads. How do we know?
Pulling it right out of his ass. They do not have intercontinental ballistic missiles. The farthest they can shoot is about Israel. You know, that's a few hundred miles. He's talking about an 8,000-mile journey with a ballistic missile and an atomic warhead. He's pulling this out of his ass.
And they said, that's not a slogan, that's a reality. Really. You know, in World War II, a lot of the countries didn't even have advance notice. We have advance notice. They want intercontinental ballistic missiles. This is plain English. Plain English. They want nuclear warheads, and they're going to hit us with them. Okay. I'm a warmonger because I think that these 7th century primitive barbarians with 21st century technology.
Now he's calling them primitive barbarians. If that is what you think of these people. By the way, I remember Tucker Carlson talking about the Iraqis the same way. Uneducated monkeys, I think is what he called the Iraqis. Sounds familiar. We're dehumanizing a whole country full of people just so we can feel it's okay to completely wipe them off the face of the earth. I mean, if you ask Mark Levine, he wanted to turn that whole country into beaded glass by dropping a shitload of nukes on it. I mean, if it was up to him, that's what they would do.
Should be removed so that we can protect our country, our families, our children. If this is not a reason to defend ourselves, then give me one. An Islamo-Nazi regime with a nuclear warhead, intercontinental missiles that have threatened to assassinate the President of the United States.
Everything, intercontinental missiles trying to assassinate our President of the United States. Shut up. You are a complete idiot, and you're a geek and a nerd, and you should have had your ass handed to you back in high school so you learn your goddamn lesson. But obviously not, because this moron right here is just making shit up, just making it up out of whole cloth. And there is a large contingent of America that sits here and watches that and thinks that this guy is some kind of brilliant fucking foreign policy genius. Damn, man.
And we have morons, fools running around the country. This isn't MAGA. This isn't MAGA. This isn't what I wrote.
Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Did he just say Magna? Did he say Mag? Wait, did he?
This isn't MAGA. This isn't what I voted for. Donald Trump is a forever war president. This isn't MAGA.
Magna?
This isn't MAGA. This isn't what I voted for. Donald Trump is a forever war president. How so? He's going to do what every president before him since Carter didn't have the guts to do. He's going to put an end to this damn thing.
He's going to put an end to this thing. God damn it. He's got the guts to drop us some bombs on a country that didn't attack us. That's what he's got the guts to do. Nobody in the history of America has ever had as much guts. Nobody in the history of America has ever been as susceptible to fucking Fox News grandpa propaganda like the one that we've got right now. And you're relying on him being as dumb as everybody else that buys into this bullshit. Jesus Christ, man. These guys are fucking bloodthirsty. You know, it reminds me of John McCain singing about bomb, 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 Iran. And thinking it was a joke. He must have told that joke like 300 times. You know, Lindsey Graham and John Bolton. Donald Trump keeps bringing these guys in, man. You don't think that he listens to Sean Hannity? Sean Hannity is his boy. Sean Hannity would go to rallies, which, by the way, a newsman going to a political rally and speaking for one particular politician. Yeah, that's a great idea. That's a fantastic idea. I don't really need to hear any more of this idiot. Couple of days ago, I saw this video. This is Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck used to work for Fox News, and the juxtaposition of what he's saying right now about Iran and their fundamentalist Muslim religion. I just want you to listen to what he says, and I want you to take Muslim out and put Christian in, and tell me how you would act if he was talking about Christians, because it sounds eerily similar.
Is this another Iraq, or is it something entirely different? Well, let me tell you what makes this moment unlike anything else we have faced before. First, this was not a call to war. This was not a land invasion. This is not a campaign to topple a regime and then sit around for 20 years trying to rebuild a culture that doesn't want what we have. Even though Iran, the Iranian people are good people, the Persians are great people, and they do want a life like ours.
Citation needed.
This was targeted. This was surgical. This was preemptive. Not against an idea. Not against.
That's right. It was preemptive. But preemptive is kind of a misnomer, because preemptive means that I am striking you first because I know that you're going to strike us. Iran was not attempting to strike at Israel. Israel has struck Iran many times, and then they will give like a little bit of a weak response to save face. They have never attacked Israel first.
To guess against the very real, very stated intentions of a regime run by men who do not think like we think, okay? They do not want what we want. We choose life. They literally choose death.
Who's doing all the killing, man? Who's doing the genocide in Gaza? Who is bombing Lebanon and, taking over large swaths of land in Syria, and is currently bombing Iran right now, killing Iranian people? Who wants death?
That is as clear as it is. Do you choose life or do you choose death? That is a culture of death. So I want to start with the clerics of Iran, the ayatollahs, the supreme leader, the mullahs, the puppet masters of the so-called Islamic Republic and their Sharia law. I have said this for years and years and years. If you don't understand this, you don't understand Iran. These are 12ers. They are followers of a branch of Shiite Islam that believes not just in the return of the messianic figure called the Mahdi, but also that his return can and must be, in their words, hastened or accelerated. And the only way to do that is to, quote, using their words, wash the world in blood.
God forbid somebody had a religion about a messianic figure that's going to come back and wash the world in blood. I don't know if you guys ever read Revelation. I read the whole damn book. But in Revelation, the second coming of Jesus is at the end of the tribulation, where he comes back for the Gog and Magog revolution, where in the Bible it says that after the battle, the blood will be as high as the horse's bridle. So a messianic figure coming back to wash the earth in blood. What's the difference, man, between the Muslim fundamentalists and the Christian fundamentalists? It's literally the same shit. And this guy's like, but they don't want what we want. This is what you want, man. Who is the one that wants death? You guys have been dying desperately to overthrow that government and cut off the head of the snake and kill all of the mullahs. You guys are absolutely no fucking different. You're just not. Anyway, to go a little bit further here, you don't really want to hear any more of this moron. I mentioned that, okay. I mentioned that the right wing is at war with itself about this particular topic, and Ted Cruz, fled Cruz. Remember that winter storm that came through Texas, and he went to Cancun because, he was a little chilly, and he left his poor little dog in the house. This guy, stand-up guy, tough guy, real tough guy. He goes on with Tucker Carlson, and by the way, I don't have any love for either one of these sons of bitches. I told you earlier that Tucker Carlson referred to Iraqis as uneducated monkeys. So, he's not really an authority on this, but Tucker does get him in a bit of a logic chokehold, and I found it pretty interesting.
Have fallen. I would use economic sanctions and I would use moral suasion to try to effectuate
if you
regime
topple,
change.
okay, so you topple the regime and by whatever means, what happens then? How many people live in Iran, by the way?
I don't know the population.
At all?
No, I don't know the population.
You don't know the population of the country you seek to topple?
How many people live in Iran?
92 million.
Okay. Yeah,
How could you not know that?
I don't sit around memorizing population tables.
Well, it's kind of relevant because you're calling for the overthrow of the government.
Why is it relevant whether it's,
because,
it's 90 million or 80 million or 100 million? Why is that relevant?
Because if you don't know anything about the country...
I didn't say I don't know anything about
Okay, what's the ethnic mix of Iran?
They are Persians and
What percent?
predominantly Shia. Okay, this is cute.
It's not
Okay.
even... You don't know anything about Iran. So
Okay,
actually,
I
the
am
country...
not the Tucker Carlson
but
expert on Iran.
You're a senator who's calling for the overthrow of the government.
You're the one who
don't know
claims
anything about the country.
No, you don't know anything about the country. You're the one who claims they're not trying to murder Donald Trump. You're the
I'm
one
not saying that.
who can't figure out
I'm
if it was a
saying
good
you don't
idea to kill General Soleimani, and you said it was bad.
You don't believe they're trying to murder Trump.
Yes, I do.
Because you're not calling for military strikes against them in retaliation. And if you really
we
believe
are
that...
carrying out military strikes today.
You said Israel was.
Right, with our help. I said we. Israel is leading them, but we're supporting them.
Well, you're breaking news here because the U.S. government last night denied, the National Security Council spokesman Alex Pfeiffer denied on behalf of Trump that we were acting on Israel's behalf in any offensive capacity.
No, we're not
at all.
bombing them. Israel's bombing them.
You just said we were.
We are supporting
This is
Israel.
high stakes. You're a senator. If you're saying the United States government is at war with Iran right now, people are listening.
Okay, we are not bombing them.
Oh, okay.
Israel is bombing them. And hey, why do you do the snide okay?
What do you mean? Because this is super high stakes stuff. This is a huge country that borders a lot of other important countries. A lot of the world's energy comes from there.
So
let me
you
ask
don't
want
Tucker,
another disaster. You don't want to be
Tucker,
reckless.
Look, like I said, there are no good guys in this conversation. Both of these guys are absolute morons and tools. And Tucker is acting stupid like he doesn't know that Israel is our client state. I mean, hell, going back to the 80s, Alexander Haig, who I believe was Ronald Reagan's Secretary of State, said that Israel is the largest unmovable aircraft carrier in the Middle East. They have always been our client nation. They're our client state. And to pretend like whatever Israel does, Donald Trump doesn't know anything about that. The administration doesn't know anything about it. And when Biden was doing it in the last term, he's like, oh, Biden is really mad at what Israel is doing. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. If Biden had made a phone call to Bibi Netanyahu and told him, you've gone too far with Gaza, stop, or we're just going to cut off your weapons, they would have stopped. But he didn't do that. And Donald Trump is not doing that either. And Ted Cruz letting this cat out of the bag that we are doing the bombing, Israel's doing the bombing with our weapons at our behest. Duh. Fucking duh. We've always known this, but it's one of those things that they don't really talk about very often. And Ted Cruz is kind of letting the cat out of the bag here and, making it pretty obvious that, that we are absolutely involved up to our fucking eyeballs in this. So the right and MAGA are having a fight. Donald Trump is flip-flopping one way or the other. Netanyahu is just bloodthirsty, doing everything he can to make sure that he maintains power. I think I mentioned in the last episode that Netanyahu was like 2 votes shy getting voted out of the Knesset before he did the first bombing run in Iran. And it seems like every time they're about to vote him out, because he is already up to his eyeballs in corruption in Israel. And if he is not in power, they can go after him, over his corruption. So every time that there's a chance to vote him out through the Knesset, he's, he throws another monkey in the wrench and he's trying to maintain power. So he is, effectuating this war. It's probably going to be pulling us into it, whether or not that's putting boots on the ground or just using, our air superiority, or God forbid if fucking Mark Levine or Sean Hannity have their way of dropping a fucking nuke. My God, man. I mean, that would be the capper, though, wouldn't it? After everything that we've done in the last 5 months to, just go straight for a nuke. I mean, honestly, I would be shocked, but I would not be surprised. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, please like and subscribe. Keep rocking.